The Zenfone 5Z from Asus and the Galaxy S9. This obviously coming with a very flagship processor, so I'm guessing it should be able to compare with the flagship level overall, but it does cost like nearly half the price, so that it is interesting to see how it will compare here. There are some downgrades obviously when you compare against the top end flagship. You're not going to get obviously OLED display. You're going to have to deal with the notch, and some people don't enjoy that. And also I don't think it's fully waterproof and IP68. So those are the things you do get with your Galaxy S9, as well as 1.5 aperture camera, which is very good in low light. But I think overall you can see here in terms of display, very competitive here. Considering the price, you even got some really nice wallpapers, as you can see, with the Asus laptop effect. Very nice touch that is actually on the Zenfone 5Z. This is a 4GB RAM model, so very comparable here to the S9. And we're just going to open up some apps. We have fully updated them both, and they're both on the performance mode. Which you can turn on here in the battery settings. Didn't notice that, so no excuses. And let's start with some basic apps. So we are running Exynos S9 here in Europe, which so far is proving to be a right one when it comes to not performing. Definitely doesn't feel as snappy as the other phones here when you consider, you know, the Snapdragon 845. I think Qualcomm did an amazing job with the 845 and the 835, although last year's Exynos was pretty good as well. So with the top end handset, you are also going to get HDR technology, which I don't think you get with the like, you know, budget flagship. There are some small things that you do get here for shelling out still, and you can see the real kind of deep blacks here on the games. But still, you know, I'm seeing the Zenfone 5Z is dominating the S9 here, which is very unfortunate, really. But then again, I didn't really enjoy the S9. I think the sales hasn't been that good this year, so they're probably going to get the Note 9 out quite quickly to compensate. Let's check out the speakers here. So you can see very nice quick load here, and the speakers sound remarkably loud on the single firing one at the bottom there. So very nice and punchy. Let's have a look at your speed test, Wi-Fi test. Start with the S9. Just going to open the door. So I got a straight line to my router, and you can see S9 doing pretty well here, going really good towards the end. Maybe the Zenfone will perform. I think this is the first Zenfone with like a flagship processor as well. I mean, the Intel processor back in the day was pretty good with the Zenfone 2, but the battery life was horrible, as I remember. Then they had the Zenfone 3 with the more mid-range kind of processor. So this is you know, like a first here for Asus, affordable handset with very flagship processor. But you can see, I do think the Wi-Fi, you know, whatever they're using there doesn't seem to be up to par really with what you can get. Still giving me the very small amount of reception here. So that's a possible weak point of the device overall. Upload seems to be pretty good though. So do bear that in mind. Let's have a look as well at the web browsing. We can just go to Verge. Go. Can't stand all these pop-ups since that G thing. They're just on every website, it just ruins the internet. So a bit mixed here. I think the Zenfone did well at first and then the S9 came back. And we do have Tech Radar. Yeah, you see, pop-up after pop-up after pop-up. It's just a nightmare. It really is truly a nightmare. But then again, it's not hard to dismiss. I think Zenfone is doing pretty well for the web browsing here, even though the Wi-Fi is not very strong. It seems to still, you know, pick up the page pretty quickly. IGN. As you can see, very nice performance here. Let's try your multitasking. Can the S9 recover? Whoops. So let's go back to the first one. So reload on the right there. And that is a weird app. It kind of just overlays. Could that judder on the S9, man? Mine is just running like anything. I've reset it as well, you know, I completely reset it and it still runs terrible overall. Maybe if you stump up for the S9 Plus it will have better performance. But I just wish you'd go back to the S7 Edge kind of way, because it seems to be a better way of doing it, having the same hardware across multiple sizes, except for the battery obviously. So comfortable victory here for the Zenfone, which is, like, as I said, nearly half the price. If you're looking for your performance, I'd definitely go for the Zenfone here overall. Getting slightly bigger display, dual camera, and very nice design indeed. I think Asus has really hit it this year when it comes to the budget flagship. So yeah, just a quick little comparison here with the S9. Hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.